Good to have another conversation with you about what's happening in this crazy wild market
True.
where I think money is now a meme.
It is actually. That just tells you the power of a community in terms of determining what's valuable to them and what they can create value out of it. As in, if you're in marketing,
Mhm,
if you've studied marketing, you know the concept of a fad,
mhm.
and this is basically it. People create value out of a fad, and then after some time, it evaporates. But we're actually seeing crypto in a totally different dimension than what we've had in the past years. Last year actually saw situations where we actually have maximalists, people who believe in the projects that they're working on.
Mhm.
But right now, we have Doge. Even the inventor didn't believe in it. We have Shiba Inu
Yeah.
breaking up the
I,
charts. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, so I find it interesting that we've gotten to a point where now money or creation of value is actually being driven by community, which is something we
Yeah.
never used to have in the past. Money has always been very centralized. Is
Yeah.
this a good thing? When we see Shibi, when we see Dodge, some sort of pump and dump scheme, and there's like a ton of others that are just coming into the space and they're taking off even the market cap
Yeah.
from main currencies like Bitcoin and ETH. Is this a good thing, or is this the future? Is this what we should expect going forward, or is this a bubble that might burst at some point?
Uh, Definitely, it must burst at one point. Like I say, it's just trying to show you how value can be derived from anything. I think it's a normal value creation, thing going on. Definitely, there are people who think Shiba is valuable to them for for whatever reasons. Definitely other people who want to rug pull others. So, and even in local, not local, but fiat currency,
Hmm.
the governments that give out money, knowing very well that this money will not be as valuable as it is. Actually, that's what they do every year.
Yep.
Every year, each government knows that my $100 today will not
Hmm.
be the same value, will be probably 98 or $97 at the end of the year. So basically, this is what the community is doing to what the government does to people every time, create value or make it look like it's valuable, but then inherently, probably the value is not really there.
One thing that I probably find a problem with this new I'd say the new norm is that,
Mm-hmm.
there's so much happening so fast. If you're new into this, even if you're deep into it, catching up might be a challenge. So you end up enriching, those sort of founders of these
Yeah.
projects, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll pump it. The community will drive and make all the noise on social media and across all these forums. And then if you're just waking up and you're realizing Shibi has done 200% over the past 24 hours, I should jump in. And you're jumping in when people are getting out. Uh, is there a way of catching up, or should you, if you're going to consider yourself like, a reasonable investor in the crypto space, should you just focus on the main currencies that, have fundamentals, they've been here for a while, they
Yeah.
have been tried and tested, or should you just also ride this excitement, this wave, and just make your quick buck and get out?
You see, the thing is, if you've not been in this market for long, then you'd actually think this is the time for me to make the best out of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is the same reason why people get out of this market.
Hmm.
Even like in 2017, in December 2017, we had
Yep.
BitConnect, and everyone was In fact, at that point, anyone who was trying to buy Bitcoin at that point, everyone was
Yeah,
getting
and
into BitConnect, and
yeah,
then you remember what happened to BitConnect. And
exactly.
then I think it's normal for me. It's a normal activity in this ecosystem.
Mm,
This happens, and this is where now you're able to separate now the good projects from the bad projects. This is now where people actually once you lose your money out of
mhm,
a project, this is
mhm,
actually now where you're able now to even go deep and start learning how to do research, and then so you will actually come out with people who are much more knowledgeable on the market dynamics than especially the new guys who are just getting into the market. We'll have
mm,
people who now understand the market better from the
yeah.
hard lessons that they learn, because definitely there's gonna be some hard lessons learned here.
Um, you're sort of okay. If I'm getting this right, you're sort of just encouraging anyone. If you think you can get in and get out in good time and not lose out, just try it. Possibly. How?
Yes, but there's a risk.
Of
I
course.
think the
Yeah.
most important thing is to understand. I think the most important thing is to understand is to look at the if maybe there's someone who's just joining the market right now or in the last 2 months. I think it's important to go back to 2017 and look at the top 100 coins
Mm,
17 they are right now in the where they are right now, on the latest ratings. That should be able to give you a guide on the percentages of projects that might make it. You know,
mm,
so I'm not encouraging people to get into these meme coins, but
yeah.
what I'm saying is that this is normally one of the learning curves that someone has to go for them now to
Yeah.
see, oh, okay, to be stopped out and then realize that, I need to focus on what is important. Now they'll probably start looking at projects that have been there longer.
So you're not here to pump Shibi or Dogecoin.
Nah, nah, I can't. I think lessons learned, I don't think I
Yeah.
can. Plus, also, I think if it was earlier on, maybe if I knew there's an opportunity to profit from them, then maybe I could. But right now, I think even the type of growth that they are having
Mm,
is quite huge. If you look at those coins, 7 days growth, you'd be
yeah.
amazed.
Yeah.
Some are in their thousands, and
Exactly.
that's abnormal. That's abnormal for any asset class to go high to go up by that much. So I think for me, I would right now any if I'm to look at the market, anything that has done maybe 100%, that's ideal for a month because we're
Yeah.
in a bull run.
Yeah.
Anything that has done above 300%, I would not really want to get into it. However, there's also the social sentiment that you need to look at and see whether what are people talking about that project. Are people talking about, because in crypto social sentiment is very, very important. That is actually one of the most important uh, fundamental aspects that drives the prices that drives the prices up. So you need to understand. So I would not advise anyone to invest on anything, but you need to learn those those aspects of how to look at a coin and then see whether it's gonna make it or not. Be there, wait for your 3x, because I'm sure we still, especially for the altcoins, especially the altcoins that are below probably 20 on the coin market cap 20 going down. There's
Yeah.
potential of 3x right now for most of them. So just there, coin, read about it, understand its value, the value that it's currently bringing. Wait, be patient. There.
I think one of the drawbacks for all this excitement is for people just getting in or just trying to find their way out. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of profit to be made. Honestly,
Yeah.
yes. But then this is happening even when we haven't essentially fixed the the UX problem, especially
Yeah.
these DeFi platforms.
Yeah.
If I wanted to buy Shibi right now, it's like a ton of steps. All of it is quite complex for a normie, and
Yeah.
and I think that opens sort of the floodgates for scammers, I'll just approach people and tell them,
Yeah.
let me invest for you. Me, I know this thing. All I have to do is
Yeah.
just open my computer, show some charts with some complex, algorithms and whatnot, and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, look, 1,000%. So do you also want to make it? And it's quite unfortunate, but I guess the crypto community has to figure out how to make it very easy for me to get in and get out. It should be
Yeah.
like just a few clicks if possible.
Yeah.
Do you think we should expect that anytime soon for it to be very easy for a normie to just set up, and especially for these DeFi protocols, to be able to set up and just get in and follow these charts without any sort of complexities and get out in good time?
Yeah, I actually think if you look at the DeFi platforms right now and compare them to the what I'd call DeFi back then, like Banco Network. Banco Network has been there for quite some time now.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to be very, very complicated, but right now, we have a Trust Wallet. You can easily integrate it to any of your DeFi platform. So I think the UIs, in my opinion, they've really, really, really improved. They're not up to what you'd really expect them to be, but we've seen the geeky side of the developers now coming out
Yeah.
to this. I think that there are people now who are behind all these projects. They're now UI designers who are part of the team, which
Hmm.
has really improved.
Hmm.
The user interface. I think maybe what's the only thing that is not going to change. I think it's if you're in DeFi, then you have to understand that you have to keep your private keys for yourself. That
Yeah,
one
yeah, sure.
that's when you really no one is
Yeah.
gonna help that.
Hmm.
But I think generally we've come a long way. If I compare what has been there before and what we have right now, it's
Hmm.
you go to Aave. It's quite the platform is very interesting. You go to
Hmm.
Synthetics. The platform is very very
Yeah.
it makes sense right now. Right now the dashboard makes a lot of sense. You're able to make out something out of what you're seeing,
Hmm.
unlike before. And I think I'd give an example. I think the current right now the hardest uh, DeFi platform to work on is Curve. Curve
Yeah,
is
yeah.
still, the design is still,
Mm.
I think an
It's very
5
messy.
kind of
Yeah,
thing. It's still
yeah,
complicated. Yeah, it's
yeah.
still. I think that one is still behind. But the rest, I think they've, PancakeSwap. It's quite, the design is good. So I think it's better than it was before.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I wanted us to discuss Dogecoin for a moment, and for
yeah,
good reason. You know,
mhm,
um, the Doge pump, so to speak, has been driven by one particular individual, just one
yeah,
person, Elon
yeah,
Musk. So when we
true.
get to a point where money is being moved, this value is being moved by someone's statement, someone's tweet. It could even
Exactly.
be an accidental tweet, but then it goes out, and since everyone is sort of following
Looking up. Yeah.
to them and whatnot, there could be like crazy amounts of money being lost, and those potentially would drive out some people for some time. Is it a good thing to have cryptocurrencies, considering they're supposed to be decentralized,
Mhm.
to have this sort of godlike following to to the extent that Doge has with Elon Musk, and now his companies are getting in.
Mhm.
People had so much expectation when he was going to host the SNL.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
Uh,
very, in fact, he made a joke out of it. And I think that's the reason why he literally made a joke out of Dogecoin, and
yeah.
that is basically making a joke out of crypto in my opinion.
Yeah.
Before the SNL, I think it was at around 0.65. Right now it's at
Mhm.
I think 0.5,
Five,
right?
five, five. Yeah.
Yes, it's a 0. Yeah, no, it's a 0.5 right now. If
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a 0.5 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think yes, we might, the reason why I think Satoshi Nakamoto didn't want to be known is for this
For
reason.
this
He didn't
particular
want to
reason.
be
Yeah.
he didn't want to be the one to he didn't want to be the god, and that's the reason why. Also, if you look at Litecoin,
Mm-hmm.
Satoshi Light, what's his name? The creator of Litecoin.
Mm-hmm.
At one point, early 2018, he sold all his positions
Mm.
because he never wanted to be that person when I speak today and then
Yeah. You can
the
move the
coin
market.
pumps
Yeah. Yeah.
dumps. Yeah, that's not right. Then the whole essence of decentralization doesn't
Mm.
make sense if one person's sentiment makes the whole currency either go up or go down. Very many people are going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
However, if you've been in this market for long, then Doge has always been a pump and dump historically. 2014, 2014, 2016, 2017 twice, and then there was sometime in mid 2018 when everything had gone down. It still
Mm-hmm.
pumped a bit. So
Mm-hmm.
though it has always been manipulated by people, and it's because I think those the price itself is one of the attractive one of is usually one of the attractive entry points
Attractions. Yeah.
for newbies
Yeah.
or for new coiners. So it's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually pissed off with that SNL show because it actually made but it
Understandable.
really pissed
Yeah.
me off. Yeah, it
Yeah.
really pissed me off because they made fun out
Yeah.
of crypto.
Yeah.
They actually made fun out of crypto. But then again, we still we're still quite new. But I think very many people say that over the past 9 years that we're still new into this tech. So yeah, they're gonna make jokes now. Peter Schiff was making a joke on Bitcoin. He has always been,
Yeah.
dissing Bitcoin all his life. It's only the other
Yeah.
week, I think last month, but one that he was like, okay, I'm wrong. I
Yeah.
never bought into this thing.
Exactly.
And I think that's what's going to. I think that's basically for anyone who doesn't think that the cryptocurrencies are not the future. In 10 years' time or 15 years' time, when he'll be going to get his pension from his government offices, we'll be looking at him and he'll be envying our lives.
True. Yeah. So another fundamental problem that I see with these pump and dump coins, like Dodge and now Shibi and the rest, is they've
Yeah.
just had to push the price of ETH, and now there's a lot of complaints.
Yeah.
Is this going to work against Ethereum in the long term?
I don't think so. In fact, I think Ethereum right now is at a tipping point. And because if you look at everything right now in any sensible project being made right now on blockchain is actually on ETH.
Yeah.
All the layer twos being built on ETH, and these are the projects that are going to blow up ETH.
Hmm.
So in essence, I don't foresee. Yes, we'll have a bear run later on in the future, but I don't foresee Bitcoin having market share compared to how it has been. In fact, I think over the next 2 years, I don't think Bitcoin will be above 40 and after that for a very long time because on ETH there are very solid projects being made on it. Okay, ETH to me right now, just based on the projects that are on it, is an easy $2 trillion coin. Just based on the projects that are being made on it, and not just that, there's wrapped
Yep.
even
Yep.
BTC itself. There's wrapped BTC on
Yeah.
ETH. So
Wrap
that tells you
BTC.
the
Yeah.
yes, that tells you the value that ETH might actually bring on
Hmm.
in this ecosystem. And that's why for me, I think yes, Bitcoin will forever be the gold, but ETH will be the oil. if that's the right statement. It will be the oil to actually now drive the crypto ecosystem in the future.
Do you expect ETH to flip their market cap for
Yes,
Bitcoin?
it
Yeah.
will actually. It
Mm-hmm.
will. Maybe not now. But they have readjusted my. I've actually readjusted my thoughts on ETH. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, initially, I had not looked at all the projects around ETH. But if you look at the potential of the projects that are on ETH right now, ETH
Mm-hmm.
is huge.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's huge. As in, and that's where all the all the DApps that are being made now. Right now, we're seeing the involvement of designers in the
Mm-hmm.
projects themselves.
Yeah.
That tells you that now there's a focus on the customer, or there's a focus on the people, on the on the random guy in the streets. There's a focus on that. And but you see, for that you cannot do it on BTC unless you do
Yeah.
it on BTC,
Yeah.
on ETH again.
It's
You see?
still. Yeah. Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
so that tells you the value that ETH is going to bring on the in this ecosystem over the next 18 months. I think it's going to be huge, very huge.
All right. Maybe
Yeah.
your final thoughts on Solana?
Oh, Solana is actually
Yeah.
my newest. It's
Newfound
actually
love.
my
Yeah.
newest. I'm actually, yeah. It's a very interesting. It's a very interesting project. The same way this Java or this all these programming languages is the same way I think all these DeFi platforms are gonna work in hand.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Solana has quite a bright future in terms of the projects that can be made on it. I think right now, in my opinion, it probably offers the best DeFi platform in my opinion. It's quite fast.
Yeah.
It's okay. The only issue that I have with it, it doesn't have enough developers in it to call it truly
Yeah.
decentralized. It's still being pushed by, I think, Almeida Research.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yes.
those are
Yeah.
the main
It's
backers.
actually being backed by some institution. Yeah.
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 So once you have and that's usually uh, that's where I have a problem when we say that we decentralize and then we have
Mm-hmm.
cryptocurrency being pushed by two or three
Mm-hmm.
institutions that definitely have interests on projects on
Mm-hmm.
that platform. So that kind of makes its decentralization,
Yeah. Agree.
decentralized.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for Solana, I think it's because even I don't think it has, it's too early or it's
Mm-hmm.
young.
Yeah.
It has not yet developed. It has not yet created its own developer community.
Mm.
However, for the young, except for the in crypto right now, there are two categories of developers. There are actually three. There are
Mm-hmm.
the initial guys who are there in the early 2009, 2010, 2011. And then there's this group that came in 2014 when ETH was coming in,
Mm-hmm.
quoted a number of community. And then now we're having a new generation of developers now. These are now the 18-year-olds right now who are now
Yeah.
getting now to understand. And say for
Mm-hmm.
them, they look at ETH and then the technology behind ETH and they look at what Solana offers. Obviously, they'll go for Solana because Solana offers better. It's fast. Uh, it's fast
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's also easier to develop anything on it.
Yeah.
So I think it's still early, but Solana, I think it's gonna be a very big a very
Mm.
big project. In fact I think ask me about this 5 years from now.
Sure.
I
I
think
also actually also have the same this actually also have the same sentiments about it. So for me, it it holds some potential, but it's still a wait and see
Yeah.
situation. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's all we have to cover today, Robert. Thank you for coming on.
Okay.
We'll catch up again. Have a good one.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Frank. You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Okay, bye.